Hey, Tube. Let me set the record straight. This is not the first debate. There's a lot of stuff on the web that says this is the first debate. No, CNN said this was the first New Hampshire debate. The first debate had 5 candidates. They were all great candidates, with the exception of maybe one. And check it out. I did a review on it. Check out my videos. Go on there. You can get caught up. You didn't miss anything, right? Now, I want to get right into summarizing this because it's going to take a lot of time and we'll have to be really brief. The number one high of the night was there was not a single person, not a single answer, but it was the camaraderie between all the people. They all stuck together. No one fought, and a lot of people jumped off of other people's answers. It really showed unity in the party. The first clip is going to feature Mitt Romney and Tim Pawlenty in an exchange. Mitt Romney, to summarize, he got way too many questions. They said he won the debate. No, he just got more airtime, and a lot more people have him leading in the polls. That's really what went on. He didn't pick on anyone, which was kind of a surprise. It looks like, so far, the media is trying to paint the story that Tim Pawlenty is his early opponent, but that may change. That's not in stone or anything. And he did say a few falsehoods, lies, within the debate. No really big surprise there. He's a classic politician, right? Tim Pawlenty, he was asked a few questions about faith, like I mentioned before in my other videos, and he didn't really answer them fully, but he did a better job. I mean, I gotta give him credit there. Now, let's go to that clip. It's going to show you basically the main feeling of the night.
Governor Romney, just yesterday, Governor Pawlenty, who is to your left on the stage tonight, called your Massachusetts plan, which you know has become a focal point of the criticism in this campaign from your friends here, Obamacare. Obamacare. Is that a fair comparison?
Let me say a couple things. First, if I'm elected president, I will repeal Obamacare, just as Michelle indicated. And also, on my first day in office, if I'm lucky enough to have that office, I will grant a waiver to all 50 states from Obamacare. Now, there's some similarities and there's some big differences. Obamacare spends $1 trillion. If it were perfect, and it's not perfect, it's terrible, we can't afford more federal spending. Secondly, it raises $500 billion in taxes. We didn't raise taxes in Massachusetts. Third, Obamacare takes $500 billion out of Medicare and funds Obamacare. We, of course, didn't do that. And finally, ours was a state plan, a state solution, and if people don't like it in our state, they can change it. That's the nature of why states are the right place for this type of responsibility. And that's why I introduced a plan to repeal Obamacare and replace it with a state-centric program.
Governor, you just heard the governor rebut your characterization, Obamacare. Why?
Let me first say to Sylvia, she has put her finger on one of the most important issues facing the country, which is President Obama stood before the nation in 2008 and said he promised to do health care reform focused on cost containment along with Republicans. He'd do it on a bipartisan basis.
The question, Governor, was why Obamacare?
That's right. Well, I'm going to get to that, John.
You have 30 seconds, Governor.
Yeah. So this is another example of him breaking his promise, and he has to be held accountable. And in order to prosecute the case against President Obama, you have to be able to show that you've got a better plan and a different plan. We took a different approach in Minnesota. We didn't use top-down government mandates and individual requirements from government. We created market alternatives and empowered consumers. I think that's the way to fix health care in the United States of America.
And you don't want to address why you called Governor Romney's Obamacare?
Well, the issue that was raised in a question from a reporter was what are the similarities between the two, and I just cited President Obama's own words that he looked to Massachusetts as a blueprint or a guide when he designed Obamacare.
But you chose, you said you were asked a question, which is fair enough, but you chose those words. And so one of my questions is, why would you choose those words, maybe in the comfort of a Sunday show studio? Your rival is standing right there. If it was Obamacare on Fox News Sunday, why is it not Obamacare standing here with the governor right there?
President Obama is the person who I quoted in saying he looked to Massachusetts for designing his program. He's the one who said it's a blueprint in that he merged the two programs. And so using the term Obamacare was a reflection of the president's comments that he designed Obamacare on the Massachusetts health care plan.
Governor, you want to respond to that at all?
No, just to say this, which is my guess is the president is going to eat those words and wish he hadn't put them out there. And I can't wait to debate him and say, Mr. President, if in fact you did look at what we did in Massachusetts, why didn't you give me a call and ask what worked and what didn't? And I would have told you, Mr. President, that what you're doing will not work. It's a huge power grab by the federal government. It's going to be massively expensive, raising taxes, cutting Medicare. It's wrong for America. And that's why there's an outpouring across the nation to say no to Obamacare. And I'm delighted to be able to debate him on that.
Let's see. Next, Ron Paul. Ron Paul did all right. Don't get me wrong. I love this guy. I think he's my #1 choice at this point. But this time around, he did all right. He appealed more to the mainstream Republicans this time around, which was a plus. And every once in a while, he throws his supporters a bone. He's going to make maybe modest gains from this. I don't know. Here's a clip from his average response to the
I would want to do much less, much sooner. The government shouldn't be involved. When you take the bankruptcies, we've been doing a whole lot. We've been propping them up. We've had the Federal Reserve buy all the illiquid assets which were worthless, stick it with the taxpayers. People who made the money when the bubble was being blown up, they're the ones who got bailed out. But you want the correction. Corrections are good. The malinvestment and the bubbles are caused by the Federal Reserve and the government, and we keep propping it up. And that's why this is going. It was predictable it would come. It's predictable it's lasted 3 years, and it's predictable as long as we do what we're doing in Washington, it's going to last another 10 years. We're doing what we did in the Depression. We are doing what the Japanese have done. You need to get the prices of houses down to clear the market, but they're trying to keep the prices up. They actually have programs in Washington. We're stimulating housing. You need to clear the market, and then we can all go back to work. But what we're doing now is absolutely wrong.
Let me give you